We're a band called Hollerin Pines, and from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Sort of a folk country roots band.
We've been playing together for about a year and a half now. Kind of got together around bonfire jams back in Winnipeg. Places like Winnipeg Folk Festival, Shine On Music Festival, and that kind of thing.
We're at our 8th or 9th show of the tour right now. We've got a total of 18 shows, and it's a month-long tour.
The first leg was kind of from Winnipeg out to the west coast to Vancouver, and then now we're kind of starting going back out east.
It's our first time playing out in BC. We're selling a lot of CDs and stuff like that, and getting the word out there. We're doing some busking on the streets and that, so it's been a lot of fun.
We drove from Vancouver, and then we've got a show in Kelowna, and yeah, kind of right in the middle of the tour.
Is there anything particular in Kelowna you want to see, besides everything?
Everything.
The most beautiful spots?
Yeah.
Everything is beautiful.
That's true.
So, okay, let's have a quick peek there.
We were lucky enough, Mike Can, who's playing bass with us on this tour, his dad had a friend who's a helicopter pilot and offered to take us out on a ride, and it was great. Yeah, it was a beautiful day for it.
Of course, in case somebody doesn't feel right, let me know. The sooner the better, and we can land somewhere.
It kind of makes you feel a little bit like a rock star. You know, you guys show up with the cameras, and then we're off on a helicopter tour. It's sort of that was pretty cool.
Kind of freak out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like grab onto
Yeah, watch your ponytail, Jacob. Brace. And I'm sure any touring band would agree that going on a helicopter ride right in the middle of a tour is pretty unusual and a pretty nice treat. So it was awesome. Go again.
They showed us a really cool hike that you can take that's like it was an old train bridge.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I've never really been in a helicopter before, like haven't even really flown that many times, so it was a pretty amazing experience to see the Okanagan Valley from up there and see all the orchards, and you know, I'm from the prairie, so anything like this is just completely unbelievable. We
got to see Lake Okanagan, Mira Canyon, where they had some train bridges that had burnt down and they rebuilt them, so it was kind of a cool perspective to be able to see it from up above like that. It was really cool.
Anyway, let's go busk.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've been trying to do busking as much as possible in most of the cities that we've been in because it's a good practice for us. It's a way to make a little bit of extra cash, and it also is a good way to get promote our show for the night and see if we can get a few more locals out to the shows.
Yeah, it is crazy. I'd rather find a place in the shade. Like, what about like over there?
We were going to set up over by a big fountain because it seemed like a decent meeting spot for people, but it was fairly loud and we figured we might get drowned out by the fountain a little bit.
We walked around trying to find the best spot, and it kind of looked like there were a lot of signs up saying that you need to have a permit.
Oh, it is the best spot.
Does that mean that we're gonna get kicked off?
Possibly. Oh, we can try.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah.
I think you should get a Hollerin Pines henna.
Oh, well, look at that. Permits required.
What?
This permits required.
Yeah, I know.
Go with it.
Being out of town, you can kind of get away with it a little bit, just sort of playing the, oh, I'm not from here, I didn't know card a little bit. But luckily enough, we didn't even have to do that. There was a sign that said you needed a permit, and we were half prepared for somebody to come and ask us for that permit, but they never did, so it worked out pretty well.
So we're going to be doing some illegal busking.
I guess so.
Want to get a close-up shot of me plugging in my Marshall stack? All right, all systems go. It's going up to 11.
1, 2, 3.
You get a group of people around you very quickly when you're that big, because you don't often see a 6-piece band just walk up on the street and park themselves on the sidewalk and start playing.
As soon as we set up somewhere, we attract a crowd immediately, especially because you got the upright bass there and the fiddle and all that, and of course the sound carries a lot farther too, so you kind of attract people from everywhere.
We kind of needed to like move along after a while, so we went down the beach a little bit, and we just wanted to, you know, sort of play closer to the water, and it's just so beautiful.
There was another busking spot that looked good, and there was actually a big crowd in the park that was there. People on the beach and stuff, so might not be a bad idea to go over there.
I wanted to follow, and as I called out, can I come with you? I knew the answer, but it didn't matter. So
Play here for a little bit? Sure. Yeah, not very long. I'm getting hungry. Okay, let's do it.
You know, didn't see anything that was that great, but we figured we might as well just set up and play a couple songs anyways. And it was a beautiful location, looking right out onto the lake and the mountains, and right on the beach there. It was great. It's always nice to be able to play outside and just have a beautiful view, as opposed to some dimly lit bar or something like that.
We had a lot of people actually coming up and taking a look at the music and purchasing CDs, which is ultimately what we're trying to do, is get our music out there. So it was really successful in that way.
Do we have enough mics? Or do we need mics for one?
Well, I've got 4, so we can use mine. They're just in my, you know where my zipper case thing is?
Yeah.
It's just a back, that little case thing.
when we're over the hill, I will love you still. You know, I don't see no one else for me. When I barely can stand, I will still be.
The Minstrel Cafe is a really beautiful restaurant. I mean, just to walk in, there's just a great sort of ambiance, and they've got the outdoor patio there that's just gorgeous with the huge maple tree there.
There's a bit of a mix-up as far as what time we were supposed to get there, and we thought we were showing up on time, and turns out we were a little bit late, so that kind of got us off on not the greatest foot, but it was fine. I mean, the sound check went fairly smoothly. We got everything set up, and before people were in there having dinner, we were all finished, so it went pretty smoothly, I'd say.
Should we just try and use 2 chairs for the round or something?
Yeah,
Or if they're probably just on the ground.
The size of the stage was a little small for our size of a band, but you know, we've played on that size of stage before, if not smaller, and we just kind of have to squeeze in there a little bit and make it happen.
Kind of the way it goes on tour, you never really know what to expect, and you just kind of have to sort of adjust to it as you go.
We played a show in Vancouver that we thought there was no way we were getting on this stage, and we managed to do that. So we kind of decided if we can play on that stage, we can play on any stage.
That's happened to me on a guitar jack before, but you have to get inside the F-hole and like hang on to it. Either that or you need like pliers that will expand. Don't you have some pliers like that do that?
There's
inside
those
the
grippy things I can try.
That might work actually. Well, let's do it after. It still works, right?
We take a really long time to set up because there's a lot of us and we all have, you know, acoustic instruments that need a lot of DIs and a lot of equipment to go along with them. So for the first few shows, I think we had to work out the kinks and sort of like get into a bit of a routine of setting up. And now I think we've sort of got that down, and it takes us much less time than it did at the beginning.
Well, we could order 2 pizzas and get one just free and pay for one.
We can use our pesky line to pay for the other one.
Sure, let's do that.
Mediterranean, chorizo sausage, spicy ground beef, fresh basil, artichokes, cherry tomatoes, olives, mixed cheeses, and marinara sauce.
There's olives, right? I don't like olives.
I don't really like olives either.
You don't like olives either? We're gonna do mine.
I like olives. Olives are easy to just flick out, though.
Picking dinner was a lot more of a process than you might imagine, but when there's 6 of us, everybody's got their own preference of what they want, and those little minute details that you get to control become like very important when you're on tour, I guess, or when you're away from home for that long.
Oh, that one's got olives on it, okay. Just tell them to put some of it, put 1 slice with no olives on it.
Or why don't you do half of it, no olives?
Yeah, half with no olives. No, then you still got the residual flavor of the olives on it.
It sticks.
It sticks to the cheese.
The best pizza on the menu had olives on it, and half of us really wanted it, and the other half didn't.
Yvan, who's a big fan of olives, he insisted that we put the olives on and we could pick them off. But I thought, well, the flavor of the olive is retained in the cheese.
I was not able to get half a pizza without olives. Sorry, you'll have to pick them off.
Okay, that's fine.
Really? They wouldn't do What?
In the end, he won, and we had to pick the olives off.
I would have voted to have no olives on it, but I mean, it's not really a huge deal. I was able to pick it off and give it to somebody else who wanted extra olives, so it worked out well.
I think my favorite one, oddly enough, is the one with the olives on it, but of course I took the olives off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like the veggie.
It wasn't the olives part, I took that off.
It was fine. Turned out that was his favorite pizza, so there. Maybe he likes olives more than he thinks. So we should figure out our sets then, and which extra songs we can add and everything.
We had to do slightly longer sets for this show last night, and most of the shows we've been doing have been like 2 45-minute sets. And last night he wanted us to do 2 one-hour sets, so we had to just sort of add a little bit of extra repertoire.
I mean, what was an hour set yesterday? It was like 14 songs we said?
We may have done longer than that.
Yeah, we might have played longer than that. But if we shoot for like 13 songs, that means we need another 6 songs.
We've been playing together for a while, and we've done a lot of bonfire jamming, and we all know a lot of songs, so it was kind of came down to choosing what songs would be the most suitable for that venue and that crowd, and then figuring out where they would work best in the set. So that took a little bit of time in planning.
So we didn't want to put these 2 together, right? Got to Go Away and Just Me were not going to go together. So could we just switch a couple around?
I think there's lots of people that you get like
We could do My Only Hope, Got to Go Away, Keep the Fire Bright.
So we're going
I had
slow, kind of a little bit faster, very slow, really fast.
Well, if we take it away, so we have 2 13-song sets.
Oh, perfect. Let's take my setup.
We all have quite a vast repertoire of songs that we've played, with each other in the past. So we just kind of, it wasn't too hard. We just added a few songs in there, and it ended up working out in the end.
It wasn't by any means our busiest show, but we were playing to like a dinner crowd, we were more so just sort of their background music. And so even to have a couple tables at the front who were really sitting and listening and actually clapping and, being a little bit more interactive was encouraging and nice to know that somebody actually, kind of cared what was going on.
The attendance wasn't great. We played to maybe 10, 15 people in total. But I mean, as I said, that's kind of the way it goes. Sometimes you win some, you lose some on tour. You get some shows that are better than others, but it still went really well.
Inevitably, just from playing almost every night, it's like we're getting tighter and tighter, and it's to me, it's getting a lot. It's getting more and more fun. Just becoming really comfortable with the songs. Thank you very much. It's like really loose gravel, eh?
Yeah, but it's still like
It'll mold to, yeah, but it'll mold to your body.
Yeah, it's form fitting. It's like memory foam.
Is winery out of town?
It's 15 minutes south of here. I think it's still sort of in the
Here
town.
already?
Yeah.
I thought we were still waiting for
No,
you.
no,
That's really
I just got back. I like just got
okay.
back, so.
Well, we were talking about like you guys are gonna, or we were thinking maybe you're splitting up and some people are gonna go to the winery and some people are gonna do the hike.
Yeah, it's an option.
We had the day off, so we had everybody kind of had these ideas of things to do.
I think everybody was like kind of late rising, and we were up kind of late the night before. And it took us a really, really long time to make any decisions on what we wanted to do yesterday.
Or we could all we could do groceries after the winery too, but I kind of want to get there first. So, is that cool?
Yeah.
And then I guess maybe we'll just move some stuff out of the car that you guys are taking, or no, the car that we're taking.
There were just so many options of things that we could do. It was sort of hard to narrow it down to what we actually wanted to do. Some of us wanted to go on a hike. Some of us wanted to go to a vineyard. We wanted to have a barbecue and go to the beach. And just realistically, we couldn't fit all those things into one afternoon.
So they go there, and we still have the cars. And then we take that other guy back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Sounds good.
Easy.
We could just wait and do groceries after both of us have done the wine. And
Yeah.
Well, won't we be out of town already? And that, like, are we going?
No, we have to.
coming back
We have to come back.
coming
'cause
back through.
We just like are a group that are all sort of maybe a little too nice sometimes. And like, oh no, you can choose this time. No, whatever you want. And then, you know, it takes twice as long to make any decisions.
We ended up doing only going to the winery in the end. We were planning on splitting up and going to the for a hike, but in the end we just the winery.
We have the plan. We're gonna do it.
We are going to go to the winery.
The winery was beautiful. We definitely made that one of our like major goals while we were in the Okanagan. It's definitely check out at least one winery.
We went to the Vibrant Vine. It was a really interesting concept. As soon as we walked in there, they had art up all over the walls, and they give you 3D glasses, and it's sort of like 3D paintings, which is really neat. And even their wine bottles have 3D art on them as well.
One does the art on the outside of the bottle, the other does the art on the inside of the bottle. And we'll come back to that later when I tell you about the sibling rivalry between the two. But first, let's just get on with the drinking.
It was beautiful. They had art up on the walls, and a really interesting guy gave us a bit of a wine lesson, and we all got to taste some really delicious wines.
Well, if you have a hard time saying the Gewürztraminer, try saying the name of the town I was born in. In fact, if you could repeat after me the name of the town I was born in, I'll give you a case of wine right now. Okay? And at that point, I have everyone's attention. Okay. The name of the town I was born in. Are you ready? San Fats put Wingus go Garris to Globo Santa Silvio go go.
Wow.
Safe again.
Yeah, you win.
I've only done one other wine tasting before, and the guy who was doing the tasting was really interesting and funny and entertaining, so that was great. Got to try some really nice wines, and yeah, it was great.
What's going to be really funny is the first hole is that barrel there with the. So they have to get on the saddle, and then it's on springs. So it's not as easy as it looks, and it's even harder to get off.
Yeah.
They had these disc golfs with the 3D art on them as well, which was neat, and yeah, just like a 3-hole disc golf tournament.
We had to sit on a saddle to start off the first hole, so it was a little awkward. You're kind of sitting on this uneven saddle and you're trying to throw the frisbee, so it made for some pretty funny moments, I thought.
If I promise to give you all of my heart, would you say to me we won't ever have to part?
Times get a little bit stressful once in a while, so it's nice to have a day off just to go relax and enjoy the nice weather and the nice scenery and taste some wine and just have fun as a group.
Going uphill. Oh, nice.
It's been nice to have that time in the Okanagan because it's just beautiful here. So definitely wanted to take advantage of any like free hours.
There you go.
Oh.
That's a hole-in-one. Yvonne was saying, you know, he's been on a lot of tours and he hasn't had the chance to do something like that on tour before, so it was pretty unique.
We all suck. Hollerin Pines.
that's quite the view. Can't complain about that. Actually, this might not be so bad to sleep on. This is like, it's like really loose gravel, eh?
Yeah, but it's still like
It'll mold to, yeah, but it'll mold to your body.
Yeah, it's form fitting. It's like memory foam.
Just testing it out. How does it feel?
It's actually not too bad.
We've been looking into some different campgrounds around the area, and it seems like a lot of the campgrounds are RV parks. And we just want to find a decent patch of grass that we can set up some tents, and we don't necessarily want to be surrounded by a bunch of RVs.
What if we took the other picnic table from that side and put the two on either side?
So 2 picnic tables and then 2 tents?
Fire in the middle?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We found the campground and it was beautiful. It was a really nice site, really high up on this, kind of on a cliff almost, and overlooking the lake.
It had something to do with the setting sun out in the valley where wild horses run. It was a woman I once loved in a sunny dress, like the sun. She was headed west. I asked her to stay with me a while. She turned around and with a little smile she said, "Where your heart is, there too will your treasure be."
Maybe it's just because everybody's starting to get sick of each other and doesn't really want to share space if they don't have to. So yeah, there's 6 of us and we set up 4 tents.
We kind of separated off. We had the 2 picnic tables with the fire pit on one side of the fence, and then on the other side we had our little mini tent city.
Yeah,
Pierre's kind of the fire master.
Yeah. I don't know why he's not doing this. But.
What?
You need your fire skills.
Fire building skills.
Yeah, you're kind of the master.
To do something is flattering them first.
Well,
You're so good
Pierre's
at
the
doing
best
this,
at this, so I should just leave it up to the master here.
Yeah.
I feel like we really lucked out. We've been, the whole tour, we've been itching to get a bonfire jam in because that's sort of what we do, and we love to do that sort of thing. So we finally got to do that last night.
The time has come for goodbye. Does not make this harder than it needs to. I know you've lived a good
It's kind of nice to just be able to kick back and jam stuff that we don't necessarily play at shows all the time. And we tried out a couple new songs that Scotty and I have written that we just wanted to work out with the band. It was just nice to just have a little bit of freedom.
Haley had a few original songs that she's been working on that we sort of were starting to hash out, and it's always a good time to sort of, just pull out your original material and see what kind of arrangements we can come up with and stuff like that.
What was the middle part again? It's always different when you're just jamming around a campfire because, somebody will play one song that kind of reminds you of another song, and then, you're kind of going in your memory and bringing out all these songs that you haven't played in a long time. So that's part of the fun of campfire jams.
At the mouth to feed now, honey. It's something I don't wanna see them go through.
I think that we were all sort of thinking the same thing the whole evening, just like, wow, look at where we are. We kept having to remind ourselves, look up at the stars right now. This is unbelievable. Definitely had to sit back and appreciate that.